Welcome back to our Pathfinder Kingmaker series. I just passed time. It should be Moon Day. So, it is time to go meet Keston. Let's do it. Welcome back, Your Grace. I'm ready, Keston. Let's get those cultists. Look, Your Grace, the cultists. Come to me, Lamashtu's children. Today we praise our great mother who raised the mother. We are Lamashtu. Lamashtu favors us. She blessed the pack with a new cub, a beautiful female cub. The goddess took Cub's mother's life as a payment. What a worthless female she was, and I can't read the rest.
Let us be careful. This will be quick.
Get him. And this guy's just cutscening away. What did he say? One escape. We need to catch him, otherwise another altar will soon appear someplace else. I need to loot first, Keston. Masterwork, masterwork, masterwork falchion. Masterwork. This, I hear ya, man.
Tread lightly.
Let me pause and read this blood-stained thing. Crushing bone, hear me, each word I speak shall turn to stone. The world shall shudder at my word. Open your eyes and see. Myriads of warriors under my command. The mountains themselves shall crumble at our feet. Burn all, make the world beautiful. The ground thirsts for blood. I thirst for beauty. Give birth to beasts. I shall search the children of Shellin. Tear them apart. Okay. I'm hurrying. I don't know where he went, though. Because he cutscened himself away. The triumph over the wicked Lamashtu cultists proved incomplete. Some villain or villainess had slipped away under the cover of darkness and into a narrow gorge among the rocks. Without a second thought, our brave Baroness, loyal Keston, and their comrades in arms rushed after the fleeing figure. The figure, clad in black, was barely visible in the dark. The villain had gotten far ahead of us. At the last moment, the Baroness noticed their prey had turned aside and disappeared behind the rocks. So our brave heroes rushed into the dark and dreary gorge, chasing the runaway. After they decided to take a shortcut to catch the culprit by surprise, the party started climbing up the stone ridge. Dexterity check or mobility check from Jade. Let's do the mobility check. Succeeded. Climbing in the darkness is a difficult task. It's not a joke when you try to catch a stable rock and hear the small stones crumble under your feet. Several times it seemed our heroes were out of luck, but their stubbornness and the thought of the runaway cultists gloating about eluding them gave them strength. Moments later, we were at the top. That's a nice picture. So our heroes found themselves at the top, and just in time. The cultist, barely visible in the darkness, was threading his way through the gorge directly beneath them. It seemed the cultist was so focused on finding his footing, he didn't notice his pursuers perched above him, giving the Baroness a chance to strike. What will our heroes do next? Trigger an avalanche over the runaway's head? Or send the swiftest and most agile ahead down the unstable slope in the hopes of cutting him off? I get to choose character, huh? Alright, a dex check. Or do I trigger an avalanche? Both DC 18. Ooh, it's a dex and perception. Alright, Alana, you're up. Failed the dex, but succeeded the perception check. Oh, are you serious? By one? Alana appeared from the darkness like a spirit. The runaway clearly hadn't been expecting that. Alana barely had time to react when the cultist burst into a sprint. Darkness failed to cover the peculiar way the runaway walked. The robed figure was limping badly, dragging their right leg. Despite that, the cultist vanished in the darkness without a trace. The party followed to the edge of the plateau where the flatlands began. As our brave heroes reached the edge of the plateau, the vastness of the Comet Lands opened before them, an ocean of high grass as far as the eye could see. A beautiful sight, but finding our quarry in this green sea, it would prove impossible. With our heads down and hopes lost, we descended to where a small streamlet flowed among the stones. And then, there before us, good fortune. In his haste, our villain had run through the high grass, leaving a trail for all to see. The party immediately set off, driven by a single desire, to capture the criminal, who dared to escape the punishment of the Baroness and had led us on this unwelcome chase. We moved as swiftly as we could, but even the ground seemed to fight us. Rock gave way to mud which grew deeper as we marched on and seemed to grab at our boots. Even the wind began to rise, lashing at our cloaks, and a foul scent filled the air, sure signs we were heading toward the gnarl marches. Soaking wet and exhausted, our heroes came upon a cabin at the edge of a swamp. According to Keston, it was a hunter's lodge owned by Dumra, a hunter who lived there alone and was known for a great temper and little patience. It also looked as if it might be a place where the cultists would seek shelter. It was unlikely the runaway would have braved the depths of the gnarl marches in the middle of the night, so the Baroness pushed open the door and stepped inside, letting a touch of the cool night air in. God dang it. The lodge is lit with only a few candles on the tables and the counter. Shadows lie thick around the room. A number of people are here. A well-dressed couple at one of the tables. A girl in simple dress dozes near the opposite wall. And at the counter is an untidy dwarf. She's wiping the mugs and glaring at you. From the half-open kitchen door, you hear the clanging of pans upon metal, presumably a stove. Keston looks around with a heavy gaze. Things have gone from bad to worse. You must find the cultists before they flee, and we have no idea what they look like. The people in the lodge look surprised and concerned. Each seems to recognize you and ask themselves, what is the ruler of these lands doing here at such a late hour, flanked by armed guards? Keston's hand falls to his weapon. Your Grace, I'm ready to make an arrest, but if you wish to investigate further before making a decision, I'll make sure no one leaves the lodge until you give the order. I'd like to look around and speak with these people. Maybe I'll find something. As you command, Your Grace. No one will leave this house. I'll make sure of that. Keston looks around the hall once again. My advice? Take their room keys. Their personal belongings speak their owner's intent, often more than their masters would like. All right. Lika, Cabron Tedrim, Una Tedrim. First and foremost, Dumra. I'm looking for someone. Can you help me? Dumra gives you a sullen glance. Seems she's not too happy to talk with you, but she doesn't dare refuse it openly. A cultist of Lamashtu is hiding in your lodge. I have to find them. Dumra stares at you for a moment, then utters a hoarse chuckle. One of Lamashtu's own? That's quite a story you've spun, Your Grace. Next she'll tell me I'm holding Rovagug down in the cellar. And what's your proof that I hide cultists? The great destroyer of the world breaker. Only to destroy creation and the other gods. The state between is increasingly restless. Oh, I've read that one already. There are footprints leading to your lodge. So what? Folk come to this lodge every day, both from the flatlands and the swamps. Your lodge is the only house in the neighborhood. And? Is it a bad thing to provide shelter for those who's lost? Several hours' walk from your lodge is a shrine of Lamashtu. Baroness, enough! The dwarf claps her hands. Here in the Stolen Lands, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting some goblin's nest or cursed ruins, or a shrine of something foul. Well, I'm not going to argue with you. Do you know who your guests are? Why should I? Dumra tilts her head, her eyes appraising you. I'm not their ward. They come, they pay for a bed, they keep quiet. Why would I care who they are? A crime has happened, Dumra. I need your help to find the culprit. So what did this culprit do wrong? Dumra's voice becomes thick, corners of her mouth curve down. Shot a deer in someone's lands, and now the criminal has to run away as if she was an animal herself? Whatever it is, leave me out of it. Do you let everyone into your house? Dumra's face turns red. What are you hinting at, huh? Your guest, Dumra. Do you allow anyone who's asked to spend the night here? Dumra blinks several times, pondering your words. Of course, everyone. What else am I expected I do? Pick who gets a warm spot near the fireplace and who gets left out in the rain? I've let in you and your thugs, though you put a terror in my other guests. Do you remember when they came to your lodge, at least? Dumra closed her eyes, trying to recall. I went to check on my traps. Some people arrived when I was away, so I can't tell you for sure, Your Grace. How many people are in your lodge right now, except for you? Watch yourself. There are 3 of them, all sitting over there. Dumra nods towards her guests. That one in the kitchen, guessing she's the servant to those two noble folk. They look to be carrying all the coin. Okay, I have to go. Elmer was more than useless. The tracks led us to a solitary lodge full of strange and suspicious people. Any one of them could be our runaway. We don't even know if it's a man or a woman. It's hard to tell with all those black robes and hoods. We'll have to sort it out ourselves somehow, or maybe ask Keston to do it. Throwing out accusations at random will get us nowhere. We need hard evidence. We should probably chat with the locals and then check their rooms. There aren't many women in the world grumpier than this Dumra. She looks none too pleased at our arrival. Alright, where are these people again? I'll start with this guy. A bearded, middle-aged man stands before you. He wears a massive gold chain on his neck. The woman beside him gives a polite smile and a nod as you approach. Greetings, Baroness. The man's voice is so low as to rumble. Let me introduce myself. Cabron Tedrum from Restov. He nods to the woman beside him. And this is my wife, Una Tedrum. We've come to your lands to hunt, yet, I admit, we did not expect to meet you in person. To what do we owe this honor? You've recognized me at once. Do I know you? I doubt it, but news about developments within the Stolen Lands and your role in them have traveled far. Alana is a well-known name beyond your borders. An odd place to rest for the night. Why, Baroness, Una gives a false smile. We adore this charming dwelling. She glances around the dim hall. Her smile remains, but you notice she raises an eyebrow at her surroundings as if in judgment. Far from Brevoy, are you not? You see, Cabron clears his throat. I've heard the wildlife here are excellent sport, so I decided to see for myself. Sort truth from rumor, you understand. Fortunately, my fair wife was in favor of the trip, so here we are. Do you prefer snares or a bow? A bow. What kind of prey do you hunt? He swallows. Cougars. He swallows again, as if fighting to take a breath. Magnificent predators. Worthy prey for a worthy hunter. He gives an awkward smile. Well, I hope you enjoy your hunting. Let's change the topic. The woman in the kitchen, your cook? Cabra nods quickly. Yes, we just can't imagine our lives without Tisana. Una coughs delicately. My constitution demands a unique diet. She studies you closely. A private matter, if you don't mind. Tell me about yourself, please. I'm a legalist, Baroness. Cabron hooks his thumbs into his embroidered belt. My job is to ensure Restov's laws are upheld. My wife is a keeper of the hearth and my loyal companion in prolonged journeys. Una nods without a word, her gaze fixed on you. A bluff 19, I could probably do it. A legalist, so you are a judge. Cabron smiles slightly. Not exactly. I work as a legal defendant in cases when a suspect's innocence must be proven, and I admit I have moderate success in this field. Cabron seems about to elaborate, then stops. No need to bother you with the tedious tales from the courts. Una Tindrum raises her head. We've decided a trip was in order. My husband worked long hours during the last several months, so he felt the journey would be good for us. Well, with a difficult job like yours, it's impossible to get by without some divine support. Whom do you address your prayers to? Why, to Abadar, of course. Divine patron of law and lawyers. Cabron looks at you intently. Surely you are aware of Abadar, are you not? You must be. No matter, no matter. And yep. Oh, yes, of course. Cabron Tedrum. I've heard about you and your famous legal cases. Cabron Tedrum freezes as if someone put a knife to his throat. Is that so? He tries to smile, but his eyes are fearful. I doubt, Baroness, that anything you heard concerned me. My family name is a common one. I have so many relatives. I know not a quarter of them. He clears his throat. Let's go back to other questions. A crime has taken place nearby. The one responsible may be hiding in this house. Have you seen anything suspicious? The Tedrums exchange glances. I'm afraid, Your Grace. Cabron looks downcast. We won't be able to help you. Have you seen anyone suspicious? Cabron looks around the hall. We are not accustomed to such company, Baroness. Besides, from the Restov legalist point of view, every person in this room is suspicious. Do you know the hostess of this lodge? No, I don't. Cabron rubs his brow, and I must say she doesn't look forward to meeting new people either. Do you recall who came to the lodge in the last hour or so? Cabron casts a look behind you. On second thought, this young woman, I didn't notice exactly when she entered the room. He turns to his wife. My dear, perhaps you recall? What was the name our hostess used addressing her? Olika, sweetheart. Una shrugs faintly. I cannot recall if I saw her at the start of the evening. I need a key to your room. Despite Una's cool expression, you notice a bead of sweat running down her temple. As she spots your glance, her lips tighten. DC 20. Cabron takes a key from his purse and hands it to you. As you wish, Baroness. I'll come back to you later. Okay. Cabron Tedrum became quite jumpy after Baroness told him she had heard about him earlier. Was he trying to hide? Tedrum claims he'd come to the barony to hunt, but he knows almost nothing about hunting, even less than I do. What a ridiculous idea, searching for cougars in the swamp. Una Tedrum is definitely not sincere when she says she likes the place. This money bag must have serious reasons to stay in this hole, reasons she doesn't want us to know about. And let's check Olika. A young woman stands before you, wearing a plain dress and a hooded cloak. Her belly is swollen, she is pregnant, and her time is near. Your Grace, it's an honor. The woman bows, then stares at you with shining eyes. I thought I'd never be able to thank you in person for your kindness, but gods were kind to me. You must have forgotten already, but it was you who discovered my husband's body. A traitor died on one of his trips. You found a brooch and a letter on his body and had it sent to me. Yep, I remember that guy. She touches a turquoise brooch pinned to her dress. The brooch is familiar to you. You made it possible that the last gift from my husband had found its way home. There's not enough words in the world for how grateful I am. What are you doing here? I'm taking what rest I can after a long day on the road. Your Grace, I'm a widow. Olika stopped short. I've barely had 2 seasons to mourn my husband, and he left me with child, and in difficult times like these. I've got a sister in Gralton. God's bless her. She's agreed to give me a shelter in her house. So I went there. There was nowhere else to go. A memory of Olika's letter emerges from the depths of your mind. She mentioned her son in that letter, but now there is no child by her mother. It's odd that Olika, who's been planning to stay at Gralton, didn't bring her son. Are you planning to stay in Gralton? Olika hesitates. I don't know yet, she answers, but if things turn out well, why not? It was a long journey for you. Olika shrugs. I have little coin, Your Grace, so I have to beg traders on the road to ride in their carts. I spend nights anywhere I have to. This place is at least warm and dry. Where are you from? From Galt, Your Grace. I'm from a tiny village near the tract. Guess no one here ever heard about this place. You recall the location of Galt and Gralton. As far as you know, stolen lands lay aside from the places Olika had named. You see this couple at the table? They are nobles from Restov. They claim you were the last one who'd come to the hall. Olika gives you a perplexed look. But that's not true. It's not. Her voice trembles. Dumra, the hostess, she was the last one. I remember her coming through the kitchen. Didn't Dumra say she was outside setting her traps? I'm looking for a cultist of a dark goddess. Can you help me? Cultists? That's horrible, but how can I help you? Have you seen anything suspicious tonight? Olika shakes her head slowly. No, I don't think so. Do you know anyone in this hall? First time I've seen these people was when I stepped over the threshold of this lodge. Do you know who came to the lodge last? Olika frowns. I heard a noise from the kitchen. It was like something fell on the floor, and then this grumpy old lady Dumra came out. I need a key to your room. Olika hesitates, then takes a key out from her cloak and hands it to you without a word. I should go. Olika is definitely hiding something. She claims she's going to live with her sister, but there's no sign of her son. What kind of mother would leave her own blood behind? According to Olika, she's traveling from Galt to Grothin. That sounds perfectly normal, but how did she end up in the stolen lands? They're in the complete opposite direction. She should at least brush up on her geography before trying to lie straight to our faces. That leads upstairs. The plot thickens.
The path is clear.
And the path is clear. There's 5 doors up here. Unlocked. The bags contain Tedrum's clothes and personal belongings. The sheets are crumpled, the blanket is thrown aside. It seems someone was sleeping in this bed not long ago.
I'll go ahead.
Alright. Make a perception check.
Done.
A lot of perception checks succeeded. DC 20. There are no hunting bows, arrows, snares, nor any other sign of the Tedrums having any hunting on their mind.
Success!
Yeah, I already looted this place. Hostess's room. Oh, I should have talked to the person in the kitchen. The sheets on this bed look dirty. The old bed cover is sewed together from the number of patches. Receipts, shopping lists, and other papers pile over Dummer's table. A pile of dirty clothes covers some snares. There are a few hunting bows and quivers with arrows.
Let's head out.
Let's talk to the woman in the kitchen. Sana. Kitchen servant is busy grinding herbs within a mortar. She's wearing a dress soiled with dark stains, and her hair is knotted in a bun with a few stray hairs poking free. Succeeded at a stealth check. The woman doesn't appear to notice you as she makes her way to the stove. You notice she's limping badly on her right leg. Before you can speak, she turns, sees you, and freezes. Who are you? Name's Tisana. I cook for Tedrums, nobles from Restov. She wipes her hands with her apron. What will it be? What can you tell me about your masters? Tisana frowns. No quicker road to trouble. Talking about masters, that is. She glances at your clothes and sighs. How would you like it if your servants were all a gossip about you? They pay regular, not stingy with their coin. They don't yell much, so I count myself fortunate I do. Why are they here, you think? None of my business. Might be they have things to do, but I wouldn't know it. I mend, I cook, and I serve when, where needed. Alright, that's enough about the Tedrums. What are you cooking? She throws a glance at the stove. That's theirs for tomorrow. She hesitates. Tomorrow's midday meal it is. Peek into the stew pot. You take the lid off the pan. Some brew boils inside. It looks strange and smells odd. You lean over and smell the stew and immediately flinch. The acrid stink of vinegar feels like a punch in the face. Besides, you can smell some strange spice, which would be appropriate in a dessert, but not in a first course for dinner. Must be difficult to please nobles like Tedrums. I imagine they ask for something new for each day's meal. Tisana thinks about it. Yes. She hesitates and nods. That's it, I suppose. Alright, I won't trouble you any longer. We're looking for a criminal who may have fled this way. Have you seen anyone suspicious? What can be seen here, you say? Tisana snorts. Ask Dumra. She runs the house, she does. Has anyone come into the kitchen recently? Only Dumra came. No doubt checking to see I'm not palming the silver. As if there's anything worth stealing here, so there's not. The hostess of the lodge doesn't mind you cooking at her kitchen. As if she came here often herself, she throws up her hands, filth piled in corners, the floor sandal deep in dirt. Had to work my fingers to bones to clean the kitchen before I could start a proper meal in this. She curls her lip. This cow shed. That's all I need. I need a room to your key. I need a room to your key. I need the key to your room. Too. Room? She raises an eyebrow. I don't have a room except here in the kitchen. Bed's a bench. Still warm enough, though. I have to go. Yeah, apparently she's limping, just like our road to runaway, as Lindsay says. Right, this kitchen maiden limps, just like our road to runaway. Unless this Tassan is intentionally trying to poison her masters, her cooking skills are way below average. Okay.
Tread lightly.
Does Una say anything different? I've been to your room. I found no hunting weapons. Cabron becomes white as a sheet. You see, well, he licks his lips, which are now trembling slightly. Una, who was watching her husband closely, touches his shoulder lightly. I beg your pardon, Baroness. She leans into Cabron and whispers something in his ear. Perception? You barely hear Una's hiss. Get a hold of yourself, you fool. You'll ruin everything. These words seem to have the desired effect. Cabron suddenly straightens and smiles. Truth be told, it's a rather embarrassing matter. Cabron gives a hollow chuckle. I proved a much worse hunter than I thought. Just imagine. I managed to snap one, not two, but 3 bowstrings in a day. Infuriated, I broke my bow across my knee. It shames me to even speak of it. Una smiles gently and looks aside. I'll come to you later. I have to check more rooms.
Let us be careful.
Let us be careful.
Success.
Oh, I had to pick that lock. Or did I? The chest contains modest clothing, some packed leftover food, a purse with herbs, and other personal belongings. The table holds a pile of letters crossed with a ribbon. These are the letters from Owlcat's deceased husband. It seems they corresponded often. Owlcat's bed.
I'm the best.
Good stuff. Perception.
Completed.
Check succeeded. The mattress covers blood-stained cloth and bandages.
I'll go ahead.
Looks like Owlcat is the one. Nothing in here.
The path is clear.
I mean, there's nothing else up here?
Let's head out.
Alright. Owlcat. Found your blood-stained clothes. Owlcat, why are there blood-stained undergarments in your room? Where is that from? Owlcat takes a step back, her eyes wide with fear. I'll explain. The woman lowers her head and rests her hands against her belly. I'm expecting a baby, but because of the journey, or of all the worries, something must have gone wrong. It hurts. Owlcat closes her eyes tightly, and I bleed. Owlcat starts sobbing. I tried to find out what's wrong, to heal myself, to appease the gods. The priest of Pharasma told me he couldn't help. The goddess rejected my child, said it would be born dead. But I can't. Can't just accept it. I can't give up this child, my husband's child, all I have left of it. Olika hides her face behind her hands and starts to weep. You realize you'll get nothing more from her at the moment. Anything new from you? Shelf contains a number of bottles faded with labels. It seems they've seen better days. People say you came to the hall last. Number looks at you closely for a moment, then grunts. Right. She speaks slowly, as if keeping her temper. I went out to the kitchen when this clumsy gal has knocked over some of my pots. What of it? I'd like to examine your room, Dumra. Dumra hands tighten to fists, but she keeps them on her hips. She says nothing, merely stares at you defiantly. Listen, the sooner I cross you out of the suspect list, the sooner I'll leave you alone. Do me a favor and give me your room key, and all this will be over before you know it. Number is silent for a moment, then nods and pulls an old, age-darkened key from her belt. Your way, then. Her eyes narrow. But have a care, no digging through my undergarments, or I'll have your hands on the hooks, you hear? Well, I already went through your stuff. Guess I have to do it again. Anything new in here? Yep. Receipts. Yep. Pile of dirty clothes. Cover some snares. Yep. This paper. Her shopping. Rain, rain, rain. Saw a wyvern today. Too many monsters around this part. These monsters have scared off all the game. Saw a goblin in the swamps. Another goblin lurking. A bright flash coming from Candlemere. Everard came by today. Haven't seen him for a while. Told me a new ruler showed up in the Stolen Lands for how long. I saw a goblin again. I'll take the papers just in case.
Tread lightly.
Can I talk to you again? Will you have new options? Nope. Can I talk to you? She's your cook. My constitution demands a unique diet. Of vinegar? And this foul brew? What's this? The table is piled with dirty dishes and cold leftover food. Ah, here we are. Perception check this. Something is burning inside the stove. It was thrown in the fire not long ago. Did I get something? Looks like something was burned in the stove just before our arrival.
The path is clear.
That means Numra burned something. Okay. She doesn't have anything new to say. Okay. Talk to Keston. Keston's brows furrowed. He looks at you, awaiting your orders. There was someone who seemed especially suspicious to me. Just call the name and I will interrogate that person. I know Una Tedrum. They're lying about something. I don't know what. Dumra's lying too. I think I'll bring her to you at once. Una Tedrum, we have questions for you. Answer them, and we can dispense with the extreme The woman's face is frozen in a sneer. Who are you, peasant? What gives you the right to address one of the Orlovsky family? We are of the great house of Brevoy, and we will be treated as such. Keston's face reddens. An honor indeed, but whatever your family, you're not in Brevoy. So if you're done with your pleasantries, tell me what brings you to our barony. It seems to me Lamashtu must be involved. Una's face whitens, but her voice is steady. You have no proof. Haven't I, Lady Tedrum? The behavior of you and your husband tells me a great deal. Una closes her eyes. I stand by what I said before. She speaks slowly, accentuating each word. As a subject of a sovereign state of Brevoy, I object to your methods and demand a fair trial, providing me with... Keston shakes his head and turns to you. Have you seen something like that before, Your Grace? An innocent woman reciting Brevoy law as if she prepared herself in advance? He turns back to her. If you are not guilty, Lady Tedrum, why such a speech? Una Tedrum clenches her fists. I understand all too well you need a scapegoat, but I won't allow you to cast aspirations on the Tedrum name. My opinion? Interrogate my husband. He who used to defend necromancers in courts. I can bear witness to his crimes, if a real criminal is what you seek. Una is interrupted by a loud noise. Excuse me. From the kitchen, Keston's hand falls to his weapon. What was that? This prattle bores me. Death to the intruders.
Be careful, everyone.
So it was Tasana, summoned monster 7. Get out of there while everybody's flat-footed. Avril, give me a prayer. Can't attack those red caps?
You should have run.
Jade. Tasana is coming after Owlcat.
Kiss your life goodbye. This strike, my masterpiece.
I don't think so. She's coming after me with slay living. Stop, stop. I surrender, I surrender. The priestess of Lamashtu holds her hands over her bleeding wounds, moaning in pain. She raises the hem of her skirt and starts to wipe away the blood from her legs. Her right leg is covered with sores, oozing pus and yellow ichor. You and your minions unleashed a blight across my lands. Because of you, monsters overrun the barony, and honest people fear to leave their homes. The priestess of Lamashtu shakes her head and tries to close her wounds, moaning. That's nonsense. I've heard the stories about what's happening in your barony, half-elf, but I have nothing to do with this. The Great Mother rules the monsters of this world, but if you had truly earned her wrath, your lands would be drowning in blood. No, Baroness, you must look elsewhere to place blame. Lamashtu and her followers have nothing to do with your troubles. Tell me who you are, quick now. I am the priestess of the cult of Lamashtu, the Great Mother, the ancestress of monsters. The priestess struggles to raise her chin, her voice a hiss. I'm not from these lands. I came because of the pleas of your people, who seek the mercy of my goddess. I came to these lands in secret and hid my identity from everyone except for those initiated in the mysteries of Great Mother. Even the hostess of this lodge had no idea who I was, and those looking for divine benefaction found me on their own, and there are more than the followers of Arasta will believe. All these people in the lodge, are they here because of you? The priestess shakes her head. They were searching for the blessing of Lamashtu. Other gods have denied them, and they had to ask Mother of Monsters for her benefaction. A couple from Restov, did they come to meet you? Yes. Several years ago, the lawyer defended a necromancer in a court in his native city, and he won the trial. Since then, all Tidrim's attempts to conceive a child were doomed to fail. Pharasma didn't want to prolong the bloodline of a man who protected those who raised the dead. Una has more brains than her spineless mate, so she'd sought the support of Lamashtu. The child, of course, will bear the mark of goddess, but Tedrims don't have much choice. Pharasma's memory is long. What's the story of the merchant's widow? Olika. She's a poor girl clinging to the unborn life in her womb. The seed of her husband was too weak. Olika's child is doomed to perish before coming to this world. Is the lodge hostess involved in all this? The priestess of Lamashtu looks at Dummer in disgust. This thoughtless thing? No. She did not see, was not smart enough to see what was transpiring under her nose. I won't offend the name of Lamashtu by calling our hostess one of her tribe. Tell me about the cult of Lamashtu. We are numerous and we are strong. The tribe of Lamashtu followers grows every day, breeds, and spreads over the lands of Golarion in search for places to create new packs. What kind of rituals were you performing at the shrine? We prayed to Lamashtu. We asked for new offsprings in the pack. We mated like wild animals, free of stupid prejudices. Priestess's lips curve in a grin. I'll spare you the details, half-elf. Those like you are unable to accept the greatness of our ancient faith. I'm not impressed by your attempts to wound my pride. The priestess says nothing, her eyes filled with contempt. Where are the rest of the Lamashtu? Where are the rest of Lamashtu cultists hiding? The woman's face turns to stone. You cannot make me betray the children of Great Mother. Torture me if you like. Lamashtu will grant me the strength to endure any pain you inflict upon me. Have you allied with goblins and other creatures in the area? No. We have the same mistress, but our paths to faith are different. Kestin, I have an order for you. Your Grace? Um, Send these people home. The priestess of Lamashtu must be executed. Your Grace, wait. You can barely hear Olika's words through her sobs. Let me ask you. No, let me beg you. Allow the priestess to perform one last ritual. Let her save my child. I have no other hope except for Tasana. Fine, Olika. The priestess will perform her ritual for you. Then Kestin will follow my orders. Servant of Lamashtu, are you ready to help this woman? Only if you'll change my death sentence to banishment, let me go. In return, I'll help Olika. Then after that, we'll leave these lands forever. After you just tried to kill me? I don't bargain with criminals. The priestess spits at your feet, then Lamashtu enjoy the suffering of this woman to the full. Shocked, Olika steps aside and hides her face in her hands. Keston throws a tired look over the lodge and rubs his chin. That's all. He looks around the lodge. We'll deal with these people as you've ordered. I suppose it'll be a relief to Dumra to get rid of such troubling guests. I thank you, Your Grace, for your help and for your wisdom. A pity we didn't discover the true reason behind the blight, but at least we have one less mystery on our hands. Have a safe journey, my Baroness. Witch hunt is done. Of course I'm gonna execute her. She tried to kill me. You see this? If I scroll up here past all this text, Tasana cast Slay Living. And she kept walking after me. She actually touched me once. That's why I got frickin' half my health. I managed to make the save. I was like, why is she coming after me? It's somewhere around here. Yep, right here. Tasana attacks Alana with Slay Living. Hit. With a touch attack. Jeez. She has enough freaking bonuses on her. What did she roll? She rolled a 19. Jesus. A lot of fortitude saving throws succeeded. Oh my god, barely made it too. 27 for DC 26. Ooh, thank you, prayer. Thank you, Cloak of Resistance +2. Jesus Christ. And she tried to do it again. She touched me after the cutscene started. Look at that. She just walked up to me after I couldn't move. Touched me. Luckily, I got a saving throw again. Roll a 20. And then 26 damage. Jesus. Of course I'm gonna execute her.
Together we stand.
I'll make my own legend.
I need some healing.
I will see this through.
No, that's too high. Is that searing light? That'll work. Freaking Cassid Slay living on me. Don't even have any good wares. Onslaught's gauntlets. Thank you very much. What could I offer you in return? This junk from the Goblin Village. Owlbear pelts, manticore pelts. You can have that trash. Alright, let's get out of here.
I'll go ahead.
Ooh. Attend the council. We scouted the whole barony, visited goblins, dispersed the cult of Lamashtu, and even participated in a real vivisection. Now it's time for everyone to meet and discuss what we've learned about the source of the disease. The Baroness's last hope is to identify sources of trouble and put an end to the horrible events. So that means I gotta go back to the capital. Attend the council. Alright, Alright, yeah, I will attend the council in the next episode. I may take, like, the scenic route, because, like, there's all these roads that need to be mapped out that are getting to me. I'll probably go this way. Map over here. How much BP do I have? Unrest in the streets. People are gradually losing faith. Your associates anxiously await you in the castle, ready to discuss the situation. And Valerie's back in 2. These two. What are you doing? Rebuilding the Temple of the Elk? What are you doing? Restoring the Taldan Mine. Ooh. What I wanted to do, I would have loved to have done this. While these two had these long things to do. That would have been perfect. But anyways, I'll see you next episode. Thanks for watching.